Hi guys, so today we are going to make our own artwork in the style of Sarah Graham. So I have selected some photographs of licorice all sorts to use. You can use the ones that I've put on the slides for you, or if you've got sweets at home you want to work directly from, or if you want to search for your own images, that's absolutely fine. You choose what you want to do. For this I've gone for about half an A5 sheet of paper, so I'm going quite small for this drawing, and I'm going to work in coloured pencils today. I did paint yesterday so you could see how that worked. You can use paint for this if you prefer, that's absolutely fine, but I just thought to show you a different medium how to work. So you can see I've taken the image and I've drawn it up in line first of all. I've worked quite lightly so that you're not going to see those lines too much when I start adding the colour, and I've got a selection of coloured pencils. I've tried to find more than one shade of each thing that I'm doing. So for example, for the pink suite I've got 2 pinks, because you know it's going to look much better if you can layer up those tones. So to start off with, I've got my black tone here, so for the licorice areas I'm going to start blocking those in with that black. So this area lies flat, it's the flat side of the suite, so I'm going to keep my lines going flat and smooth, so you get that impression of it being a cut surface. And you can see that I've layered that, I've gone both ways, kept it neat to the edges, but that means that I don't get any of that scratchy mark making that you can get with colour pencils. If you layer it and work into it gently, then you won't get that. So on this piece of licorice here, it's white in the middle, black to the edges. So again, go nice and smoothly with my colour. I'm not putting in very much pressure. That means that I don't get that scratchiness with the colour pencil. And I'm going to go slightly darker on the edge than I am to the side, so that you can see the difference in the form. Otherwise it's going to look really flat when we're finished. Work into that now. If I look at the form of this side, it's going to be darker towards the bottom, so press slightly heavier towards the bottom. And then as I'm coming up, I'm going to make the pressure slightly less, so that makes it lighter as I'm coming round. So that should give us a little bit of form to our drawing by making that edge darker. And again, working into that so that you're building that colour gradually. And then on the white centre of that, it is white, but I'm just going to put a little bit of tone on it on the edges there, just to give it a bit of solidity. Okay, so then moving on and start looking at this pink suite. So I'm going to go in with my pale pink as a base colour, and I'm going to use that all over just to start off with. And then I can start to change my pressure on that to bring up this tone of the edge here. And then this is a mottled suite. This is the licorice all sorts. This is a coconut one, so it's actually got quite a bit of texture on it here. So now, rather than going flat like I was before to make that have surface, I'm actually now putting in texture with my mark making to give that the texture of that coconut suite. So it's quite brittle, it's got lots of edges to it. And then I'm going to go in with, I think this is a darker pink, yeah. I'm going to build into that with my darker pink, so I get a bit more variety in that colour and that texture. So you can see I'm creating an impression of that texture working from the photo. So now you can see this is smooth, this is textured. Okay, moving on to the blue one, I'm going to go in and work in a similar way. So I'm going to go in with the light blue first as a base. Work that in all over. And then I'm going to go in with my darker blue to start putting in those little balls that you get on top of those. So they're licorice on the inside, you get pink and blue ones of these, and then they have this textured surface made up of lots of very small little icing balls. So you can see I'd already done that in my pencil, so I'm just reworking over those lines using the blue, and I'm going to do some of these in the light blue as well, because you can see there's quite a big variety in the colour there. And if I had another blue, I'd go and find that at this point as well, so that more really, the more variety you get in there, the better, and to give you a better effect. Right, now it wants to be a bit darker on this edge because it is a cylinder, so I'm going to go back over with that dark blue on that edge just to give that impression of the cylinder, like that. And I'm going to put some little darker sections in there because you can see in between those sections there are some darker parts. Okay, I might even go with a little bit of my black in there, in between, just to give it a bit more of that solid feel that you've got there. And we know that those seeds are on a piece of licorice, piece of black licorice, so we'll have those darker sections behind, like that. Okay, so moving on to my yellows, I'm going to go in with this one as a base tone. And up here as well. And then I'm going to put in the black part in here. That's much more solid. And then I'm going to use some orange just to deepen that tone a bit. So if you can use more than one colour blended, it's always going to look better for this type of colour pencil work. And then this one's white, but it's just got a shadow on there, so I'm just going to bring that through. There's a bit of shadow in here. And a bit of shadow below that one. Just going to take this up a notch now, just to bring this forward a bit more. Just deepen some of that black tone. There we go. So, close up of Licorice All Sorts in colour pencil in the style of Sarah Graham.